Are you ready to help me pick my last series for 2022? Well, I'm not going to hold you to it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs, and in this video, I am having you guys help me choose the patterns that I will sew for my coat series, which is the last series that I will be doing for 2022. I have done so many series this year, and I'm closing it out with a coat series. Now, before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, and also turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. If you're new to the channel, welcome, hello, ciao, guten tag, hola, aloha, konnichiwa, wagwan, bonjour. And if you are returning, you know what to do. Go get your coffee, your tea, your water, your juice, whatever you want to drink, and come hang with me for a quick minute as we go through these patterns of what I want to sew for my coat series in December. All right, now I am doing this pretty early in September. It's still September, you guys. I'm doing it pretty early for a couple of reasons. Simply because I want to have the patterns that I want to sew. I want to sew anywhere from 4 to 6 of these coats or jackets, right? And I want to be able to get the fabric for it by next month to start sewing during my Thanksgiving break into December. So that is my goal for the coat series. All right. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into this video. Now, you guys, most of these patterns are simplicity, so don't kill me. But I did try to choose a little bit of everything, okay? And you guys will see that here shortly. Now, I'm going to leave the simplicity patterns for the end, but I'm going to show you the ones that are not simplicity first, all right? So the first pattern is Vogue 9340. Now, the reason why, there's many of things about this pattern, but the reason why I chose this pattern is because it looked like Little Miss Old Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood is what this pattern remind me of, okay? Now, I'm here for view A, which is the shorter length, but view B would be great to wear with the dress. Now, this is a very loose fitting hooded coat, which have length variations, and it also has a snap closure as well. Now, some of the fabric options that you can use for this would be lightweight woolens, ponte knit, or flannel. Now, me personally, because it doesn't get extremely cold here where I would need to use wool, I plan on using either a fleece or a flannel. It'll probably be a thick flannel. And I do plan on lining this as well. But this is one of the first patterns that I am looking at doing for my coat series. Just let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm planning on doing 4 to 6. So I'm only going to show you 12 of these patterns because that's what I pulled out. So I'm going to do at least 25% of these patterns, no more than 50. All right. But that is one of the first patterns that I chose. All right, so the next pattern that I chose, we're going to move over to New Look patterns. That's the only Vogue pattern. So I'm going to move over to the New Look patterns. There's only 2. So the first pattern is New Look 6035. Now, you guys know that I have sewn this pattern now 3 times. I have sewn this pattern 3 times. I also have a sew along for it. I have 2 sew alongs for it. I have one that's not so detailed. It's a good sew along, but it's not so detailed. But one thing with that sew along is I was in my old house, and for that sew along, I didn't have a lot of, I did not have a great camera. I was still using my GoPro, my older GoPro, and I'm just gonna put it like the lighting was great. However, I needed to do an updated video for that because some of the video was kind of like out of sync, I guess you could say, or it did not show a lot of the details like it does in my second video. So I did refilm it last year in October. Now, in the second video, the music is too loud, and you guys have told me that. So I do plan on doing another sew along, but the sew along will not be with music. It'll just basically be redoing the same thing that I did for when I did the breast cancer awareness jacket in October of last year. It's the same exact instructions. I will do this exact same thing and just go straight into the sew along without the directions and all that stuff, but also film it with no music. You guys seem to like that a lot better with no music, so you guys can hear me clearer. So I will do that for this pattern. But once again, this is New Look 6035. I have a sew along for it, so I will leave that in the description box below so you can see that sew along as well as on the end screen. All right. But I also plan on possibly doing the pants on this as well. Don't hold me to it for the pants series. I'm not sure yet because I'm still finalizing the pants that I want to do for the pants series next month in the month of October. But I do plan on starting the coat series towards Thanksgiving time in November. But this will be the last season. This is New Look 6035. Next pattern is another New Look pattern. It's New Look 6305. Now, this one I plan on doing in a linen fabric. However, I do have this gorgeous Ankara fabric that I can use for it. I'm not 100% sure because the same fabric I seen Montoya Mayo do in this same fabric that I'm thinking about doing. So I don't know if I want to do that or if I just want to do it in a linen. I do have a mustard linen and I also have a hunter green linen that I could use. And I also want to do a lining for this as well for the inside, just to accent it a little bit with some leftover Ankara print that I could use up to get rid of scrap fabric. But this is a New Look 6305, which is a Mrs. Princess Seam dress and jacket. It has darts. It's great for basic wardrobe builders and all that good stuff. You can do the shorter jacket as well, or you could do the longer jacket. The shorter jacket is view D, the longer jacket is view E. My plan is to do the longer jacket, which is view E on this pattern. Now, if you are wondering what fabrics you can use for this one, you can use basically any type of fabric: crepes, linen, cotton, double knit, whatever you want to use. But this is New Look 6305. All right. Once again, that's New Look 6305. I'm getting ready to mix up the numbers from the last pattern. I don't want to do that. All right. Moving over to the McCall patterns. There's only two for the McCall patterns. The first one is McCall's 8210. Now, this pattern I pulled out simply because this is more of a shacket pattern. Now, I know Sew Your View did a shacket pattern this month, and I wish I was able to basically move stuff around in order to do that. Simplicity 9388, which I'll put up on the screen so you guys can see. This is the pattern that Sew Your View chose this month. The shacket was on my list for the month of October. It is on my list for the month of October. However, when I seen this pattern, it was the exact same pattern. I was like, there's no way that I want to do it next month in the month of October. So I don't know if I would still do Simplicity 9388, which has been on my docket forever and a day since it came out. But this one is McCall's 8210. I feel that this is a great pattern to do as well. It's a Mrs. button-up shacket with a drop shoulder and long sleeve. And it also has like an inverted pleat right there on the sleeve and a back yoke as well. This is a Melissa Watson pattern as well. Now for the fabric, you can use twill, linen, denim, wool blends. I don't know what I would use. Probably a linen or a twill, because a twill holds the structure of a jacket really, really good. So I'm not sure exactly which one I want to use, but yeah, this is McCall's 8210. The next McCall pattern that I pulled out of my stash, this one I pulled out of my stash, is 8246. Now, this one is a trench coat. I did a trench coat last year in October during the fall time. I did Butterick 6331, which is an out of print pattern. Of course, you guys loved it. However, that trench coat is a lot of steps. Okay, I don't want to redo that same trench coat, at least not just yet, because it's still new. Okay, so I'm saying that it's still new, even though the pattern is probably about a good 4 or 5 years old. But it's still new to me because I have only worn it twice since making it, and I still love that jacket. However, this one is a double breast lined trench coat that has the storm flaps in the back. It has the raglan sleeves. It has the, the buckle belt as well. So it has lots of different options. And this one is also another Melissa Watson pattern as well. And I believe this pattern came out last year fall time. So I'm just thinking of maybe I need to just go ahead and do this pattern for, the coat series. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But some of the fabric options would be wool blends, gabardine, water repellent fabric, which is like your raincoat fabric. And of course, you're going to need some lining for that as well. Now, this is the McCalls trench coat that I decided to pull out. Now, the Simplicity trench coat is Simplicity 8554. Now, this is the easy to sew pattern. I plan on doing view B, the shorter version for this one. I love that. It's shorter. View A is just much longer. You could dress it up, dress it down, however you choose. But I think for me and my height being 5'5" 3/4" on a good day, not 5'6" yet, but I think for this pattern, view B is what's calling my name. Okay. Now, some of the fabric options that you can use for Simplicity 8554 is your chambray, crepes, linen, silky prints. You can use basically whatever fabric you want. I think for me, I would use the linen fabric for this. I'm not 100% sure, but we will see. But this is Simplicity 8554. Moving on from that pattern is Simplicity 8517. You guys, I just showed this one when I did my Simplicity Fall 2022 patterns. It looked exactly like one of the newer patterns. I can't think of the number off the top of my head, but I'll put it up on the screen. Now, the reason why I chose this pattern is because the new pattern looks like this one. And I have this pattern, Simplicity 8517. I have the new pattern as well because I just picked it up about a week and a half ago. But I like what the model is wearing, which is view A. And this is the easy to sew pattern. And I think that this little poncho style jacket would be amazing in my wardrobe. Okay. Some of the fabric option is double knit, fleece, ponte, wool. Now for me, I would use a fleece because I have tons of fleece, and they had a fleece and flannel rama going on at Joann's over the weekend. So I did pick up some fabric for this. As well as, other things that I want to do with some fleece and some flannel. But this is Simplicity 8517. Moving on to the next Simplicity pattern is Simplicity 9468. You guys, this is the easy to sew pattern. This pattern came out, I want to say in springtime, and I was going to make it then, but I decided not to do so. And I don't know why I decided not to do so, but this is an easy to sew pattern. Once again, it's relaxed, unlined jacket in 2 lengths. It has a drop shoulder. It has that patch pocket that you see that the model is wearing. It has the sleeve bands. I see that back slit as well. Also, you can choose different collar options as well. You can either choose the collarless version of this pattern is what you see in both view C and view D. And then you have, view A and view D is the collarless version. And then view B and C is the, the collar with, you have that cutout collar. I don't know what you want to call it. The shawl collar, I think is what it's called. But that's in both view B and view C. And then in view C, it only looks like it has 1 pocket. But you can add on a second pocket because it just looks a little weird for 1 pocket, just in my opinion. I'm just saying. But this is Simplicity 9468. I would do it in a linen. That's what I would look to do this pattern in. But some of the fabric options that you can do is linen, cotton, chambray, denim, rayon, double gauze, poplin. There's so many different options. You can even do this in stripe if you choose so. If you choose to do that as well, that's completely up to you. But that's just, my opinion. And this is Simplicity 9468. All right, so the last patterns that I'm going to show you, they are all Mimi G patterns. It's 4 of those. So the first one is from a fall. I think this was fall 2018. Don't quote me, or maybe 2019. This one is Simplicity 9186. Now, this is another pattern that was part of Sew Your View you know, a year, maybe 2 years ago, I want to say. This was Sew Your View. I didn't get around to it because I didn't have any fabric in my stash in order to do the Sew Your View that month. But if you don't know, if for some reason you did not get to Sew Your View for that month, you can still post it once as hashtag Sew Your View or SYV submission. When you sew it together, reason being is because it's still a Sew Your View. You just was not able to get it done in the month that they posted. And this is one that I still want to do by Mimi G. Simplicity 9186, which is an average to sew pattern. It is a single busted coat and jacket with the puff sleeves like you see. And then towards I believe from the elbow to the hem, it's rib knit. So I feel like that is a good feature on this pattern. Now, me personally, I would probably do view B on this pattern. The shorter view instead of the longer view. If I decide to do the longer view, view A, I would always wear it with a dress, like a knit dress underneath, like Mimi does on the pattern as well. But some of the fabric options that you could use for the main structure of the fabric is brocade, which I have some of that, corduroy, I have some of that, cotton, denim, crepe, double knit, ponte, wool blends as well. And then of course you're going to need some type of knit, like a rib knit or whatever for the sleeves. All right. But this is Simplicity 9186. All right. Let's get on to the next pattern by Mimi G. It's an older pattern. It's Simplicity 1066. You guys, this has been, I hate to even say that, but the fabric that I want to use have been in my stash since the pattern came out. Okay, I bought ponte knit fabric in order to do this, I guess, blazer. You could call it a blazer, jacket, whatever. And I just never got around to it. So, and I think the reason why I never got around to it is because it just always was scary and frightening to do jackets. When this pattern first came out, I just got back into sewing more than usual. Because you guys know I've been sewing for a little over 12 years now. But I think looking at the pattern pieces, and Mimi G makes, you know, her videos look so easy, right? But back then I was not sewing jackets, but now, you know, I sew a little of everything now. So I think it's just time for me to pull this pattern out and sew it. But it's just basically Mimi G jacket pattern. All right. Some of the fabric options that you can use for this, you can use pretty much anything, ponte or even woven fabric. Is just completely up to you what type of fabric that you want to use for this pattern. But just know that you will need some lining fabric because this is a lined jacket. All right. But yeah, I think I would probably use ponte knit from my stash that I've been holding on to forever in order to create this jacket. All right. Moving on to the next Mimi G pattern is Simplicity 1283. Now you guys could just imagine why I pulled this out. I love everything on this, and I have the fabric in my stash. This is the Mrs. Unlined jacket. You have the knit top, which is view A. You also have the pants. You have the skirt as well. So that color block skirt is view B, and then your pants is view C. So this one is more like a sportswear type pattern from Mimi G. She have done this. I think she have done her jacket twice. She have sewn the pants 2 or 3 times. Mimi G sews her pattern at least 2 to 3 times to give you different options for her patterns, which I do like that about Mimi G. Now for me, the coat I want to do, which is view D. Some of the fabric options you can use for the coat is a double knit, gabardine, linen type. I don't know what fabric I would use for this. I have a fabric in mind, but the lining, I definitely want the lining that I have. I definitely want to use, which is a rayon challis. But that's what I plan on using. The main fabric, I'm just not 100% sure of what I want to use for the main fabric yet. But this is Simplicity 1283, which is one of the ones I really want to do. If, you know, this is one that I really want to do this year. And the last pattern is I really want to do, you guys. I looked at all the pattern pieces and I'm just like back and forth with this pattern. But this pattern is Simplicity 1016. This is one of Mimi's first patterns. I want to say this pattern is from her fall 2015, probably, maybe 2014. No, so the very first pattern that she came out with was 1283 and 11, I can't think of the numbers, but I know it was, no, it was 1276 and 1283. This one, the 1016 was the next year. I believe it's fall 2015 is when this pattern came out. This pattern is old. And I know Anita by Designs have done this pattern before. And I know most of you will probably be like, Rochelle, that is a lot of pattern pieces. But when it comes to something that I really want to do, I could look past the pattern pieces because I like to break up my sewing sessions into increments, right? So I'm not going to sit and cut out all the pieces all in one set. I will cut out the pieces, but not the fabric. Okay. I'll probably take 2 sittings to cut out fabric, what have you, right? But this is a Mrs. and plus size. Did you hear me? Plus size coat. So it's just not one size fit all. Okay. This is, you can either do collarless, you can do it with the cape as well. It has the patch pockets, it has the button flaps, it has the optional belt, it has removable cape with collar. It has all the details that I would like. Now, me personally, I would not do the cape. Reason being is because I don't feel, I would actually, you know what? I would probably do the cape just to have that cape done, just in case I want to be dressed up more with this coat, but I would definitely do the coat. The cape is just, I don't know yet. It depends on time. Okay. But those are all the patterns that I pulled out. Most of them I pulled out of my stash to do the coat series. I did pick up the Vogue pattern during the last Vogue sale. I also just picked up the McCall pattern, McCall's 8210. And then the new look pattern, the new look 6305. I picked that up during the last Simplicity sale as well. But these are the 12 patterns that I have chosen to do, only 4 to 6 of them for my coat series. I would love to hear which ones you would like to possibly see me do in the comment section below, or you can even DM me if you don't want to put it in the comment section below. But that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So I'll catch you in the next video, and as always, keep sewing.
Where's the Benji? Working a 9 to 5, I had to go and feed the guys. Nobody did it right, I had to show them how to grind. I had to beat the hard, this is the life I live for God. Taking a step at a time, we going up, we headed them all.